Insomniacs and troubled sleepers of Reddit, when you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep, what do? I do a reset. If I can't get back to sleep, I get up and walk through my bedtime routine again and then get back into bed. It usually works. I simply wallow in misery. Thank you for asking. I get up for the day. I've had some days where I'm running on half an hour of sleep. It truly sucks, but I don't know what else to do. If I just lay there, I never actually fall back asleep and usually end up getting out of bed a few hours later. I usually listen to a podcast rather than look at anything on my phone. I find that the light from the screen only makes it less likely that I'll be able to fall asleep again. I relive all the awful, uncomfortable, embarrassing, humiliating experiences or mistakes I've made in my entire life and deride myself for being an idiot, because that's a really useful way to spend time at 3:30 a.m. And then I fantasize about winning the lottery. That's me right now. I usually browse Reddit for a while or watch YouTube until I get sleepy again. I'm breaking my rules by being on Reddit, but here you go, fellow insomniacs: 1. Do not get on your phone, turn on the TV, or turn the lights on if your intent is to go back to sleep. You're just going to FK up your brain. 2. Lay still, close your eyes, and start with the letter A. Name 5 things from a category that start with A. Baby names, city names, items in a grocery store, types of animals, things you would find in an office, whatever. Name 5 things from that category that start with the letter A, then move on to the letter B, then C, and so on. I skip Q and X. 3. If you make it through to Z, move on to another category. I meditate until I fall back asleep, plus I remove the extra drape to get myself colder, as I read somewhere that being colder makes it easier to fall asleep. Lie there for hours and feel like shit in the morning. Occasionally take a shower. I can't even fall asleep until 5 a.m. on most days. And then you'll just watch the sun come up and debate if I should nap or get up and try to fall asleep earlier later on to reset my schedule. Rarely works. I lay down. I try not to cry. I cry a lot. Read a book. It usually puts me to sleep. If I am stressed and woke from a nightmare, I will do a few breathing exercises or meditation to calm down before trying to sleep. Lie awake and regret all my life choices. I started using Headspace app. It has a specific nightcast thing for when you wake up, to help you fall back to sleep. Currently I try that, and if that doesn't work, I just put on a series and pretend to watch it. Used to clean my room when this happened. It happens less now that I am medicated so nicely. Read a book, do some work or study. If I've got a few extra hours in the day, may as well be productive. Also might put me back to sleep. I'm a night owl or vampire or whatever they call it nowadays. I can't sleep until sunlight, and it's really annoying when I have a job. Thankfully the pandemic took that from me. Now I just plug up my headphones and play COD or whatnot all night and sleep all day. To wake up at 3 a.m., I would have had to go to sleep before 3 a.m. I feel like I would have had to have gone to sleep before 3 a.m. is the proper grammar, but it's 7 a.m. and I still haven't slept, so I can't tell if that's actually just a nonsense sentence. Put The Office on and drift off to sleep, only to be woken every 20 minutes by the absurdly loud opening credits. Before marriage, I would jerk off until I was tired enough to fall back asleep. Being married, I have to tiptoe to a secondary room or bathroom and jerk off silently like a ninja. I usually end up laying in bed until I have to get up. If my brain can't rest, then I let my body rest. This will probably get lost in the comments, but if you read this weighted blanket, my so is a fellow insomniac. He bought it. The weight helps you feel secure and helps you sleep deeper. He said he cannot wake up during the night, even if he has a nightmare, which is a bummer, but it shows how deeply he sleeps. He uses a 7 kilograms one. Try it, it will help. BBC World Service. As soon as you hear something really interesting you want to listen to, you'll fall fast asleep. Oh shit, that's me. Been under treatment for the last 6 weeks and I got a few tips to share. If it's a mental thing keeping you up, take a journal and write your worries down, and only the first thing you need to do. Only get into bed if you feel tired. These should prevent overthinking. Physical things like making sure you enter into sunlight just after you awake, hot showers before bed, even on hot nights, and melatonin from Amazon makes a huge difference. I'm up for the day at that point. It depends on how often it is happening. Once in a while, after an hour or two, I just get up. If it is happening all the time, I stay in bed. I find I get some rest. I'm less tired the next day if I stay in bed. Watch stuff, start to get up and do some work. Repeat the next day. I get up, walk around, have some chocolate milk, make a list on a notepad of things to do for the day. Go pee, then go back to bed. I usually sleep a few more hours before a small face appears CMS from mine asking where their chocolate milk is. Oops. Masturbate, smoke weed, take melatonin, or pet cats. So far down, no one will read, but here goes. I figure him up because God wants me to pray for someone or something. It usually puts me back to sleep in less than 30 minutes. Have a joint. That usually allows me to drift off again. Basically I've narrowed it down to two options. I can either lay in my bed meditate/make up stories in my head, usually a mashup of sci-fi and magic worlds, or masturbate and roll over and go to sleep. That usually works the best. Jack it till I pass it. I'm too tired to be more creative. Me currently, I usually like going into my studio's bathroom because it's the most quietest place, can hear traffic in the living room, come in here, pack a bowl of some nice indica, play some tunes, or sometimes bring my acoustic in here, awesome natural reverb, and just get lost until I'm either sleepy again or it's 6 a.m. and it's time to start the day. Actually, this is not insomnia and is totally normal. Before electricity and gas heat, it was commonplace to wake up in the middle of the night, tend the fire, tinker around for an hour or two, then go back to bed. I eat all the food in my fridge till I pass out. I usually find the cat and snuggle him in with me. His purring helps me relax and fall back asleep. I get work done. I'm somehow my most productive at this time of day. It also allows me to stress less during the day. Sometimes I legit just start my morning and decide that I'll let sleep come to me when my body really needs it. Other times I'll just lay with my eyes closed and decide that even though it's not really sleeping, I'll just count it as sleep since I'm resting. It is now 3:50. Alcohol and Reddit. Take pre-workout and go to the gym. I do something that focuses my brain a little but isn't super challenging, read a book or play a chill or repetitive video game usually. After doing that for a little while, a chapter, till the end of a week in Stardew Valley, etc., my brain recognizes that it has completed a task and can now relax again. Not foolproof, but definitely better than staring at the ceiling. I don't usually have the problem of waking up weirdly. For me it's usually that I just can't fall asleep. I really enjoy being active at night, but that ain't gonna happen, so sleep just doesn't happen very much either. I try to make myself sleep before 11, but it's rare. And I do definitely wake up randomly, but it's not a huge problem. I either lay there in misery for the rest of the morning, get up and be productive, or I play video games. I mostly lay there doing mental math about how much sleep I could get if I fell asleep right then. I either scroll on Reddit until I get tired enough to fall asleep again, or I get up and attempt doing something relatively productive. Sleep when you are sleepy, get up when you aren't. If you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't go back to sleep, get up and do something else. Try writing down what is on your mind, or sit up and read for an hour, or until you are sleepy. Then go back to bed. Beds are for sleeping, and that other thing. Don't just lie there uncomfortably. I typically get up for the day. Most days I run on 1 to 4 hours of sleep and I'm used to it. I rarely feel tired enough to fall back asleep. My cats have my routine down, so if I'm not up by 3:30 they will come cuddle or meow so I can feed them. They're spoiled. On weekends I'll run to the store and get breakfast items for when my man wakes up. I tell myself that I'll get up and do my coursework and be productive, and that normally knocks me out so hard I can barely wake up later on. Try a few different ideas. Eventually have to masturbate.